Hi and welcome back to the channel. So if you saw part one last week of our Uluru trip, you would have seen us arrive and shoot sunsets and galaxy shots, sunrises. We did a helicopter trip and got a whole swag of shots, including the galaxy and Kata Tjuta, of course, as well. This week we got up next day at 3 a.m. and left Uluru for accommodation there was, and took the 300-kilometre drive up to Kings Canyon. Now you got to be careful on that road that time in the morning because there's a bit of wildlife around, so take it easy there. About 300 kilometres, about a 3-hour drive. So let's go. Good morning. So it's probably not much past 7 o'clock in the morning. The sun is about to come up just over my shoulder here. We are at Kings Canyon. We're doing the Kings Canyon rim walk at the moment, and we left at 3 this morning. We drove for 3 hours, arrived at 6, climbed up what they call Heart Attack Hill, which was pretty epic. Got to the top here and just have a look at this landscape. This is unbelievable, quite incredible. So what I've done is I've set the camera up just down low here. I've got this peak on the left here is sort of creeping into frame with the center pillar down here, taking the center frame. We've got a little bit of pinky sky as well. I'm actually doing this in a reverse form. I'm at 13 seconds. I've just put a grad on right now because I've just noticed that the sky was a lot brighter on the eastern side here. F10 and I'm at ISO 50 right now. So let's take this shot, check this one out, see how it came out. Spent about 4 hours hiking through Kings Canyon, the rim walk in Northern Territory, and I haven't done an awful lot of, I haven't shot an awful lot of footage for you guys. Sorry, you're in the sun. Here we go. How's that? I haven't shot a lot of footage for you guys simply because we've just been stopping, starting. So we've spent about 5 hours walking around the rim walk, where it's probably a 3-hour walk. So I felt if I shot a lot of video, I would have dragged everyone back because I'm with a group today, and it would have taken hours and hours to do video. But what I might do is I'll put up some of the shots from here, because you can see this type of landscape behind me. Absolutely insane, and it goes for miles and miles as far as you can see. These incredible, it's a bit like there's an area called the Bungles, which are much bigger than this, of course, but that type of look to the rock, where it's just weathered over years and years, and it just looks amazing, absolutely insane. So let me put up a couple of shots. First one is from one of the lookouts that we stopped at. I think it's called McConnell's Lookout. Absolutely gorgeous. Looks right down the gorge itself, and beautiful little tree there. And I got that front and center. So let's check this one out. I'll come back and do the next one. So that was McConnell's Lookout, just beautiful. We caught that just as the sun was coming up over the horizon, and it just put some light on the scene, which just made the whole scene just look amazing. We then stopped, can't even remember what it was called now, but it's a waterhole. It's about a Garden of Eden it's called, and it was about a 20-minute detour off the track. And it was at this point that my camera died, so here is the shot I managed to get of the Garden of Eden. It was actually a 7-shot panorama. I managed to climb up underneath this overhang, which sort of framed the shot really nicely, and took the 7 shots across the scene. The Garden of Eden, worth a stop if you head up that way. Just arrived. This is now day 3 in the area, and we've just gone to this little area called the Mutulu Waterhole, which is on the south side of the rock. And we just overheard one of the guides telling us that a lot of the local indigenous kids get to come in and swim in the pool here whenever they've got water here. So this is not an awful lot of water in the pool at the moment. But what happens is when they get rains here, the rains actually come cascading down the rocks and through these pools and end up in the waterhole. So it's a great area for the local kids to play in. They don't like visitors swimming in this, obviously, because it's reserved mostly for the local kids. So what I've done is I started with a landscape shot across just trying to capture some of the colour of the rock here as well. But I've just turned the camera in portrait here as well, and I'm shooting at f13 because it's quite a way up to the top of the rock up here. And I'm just trying to capture that whole sort of cascade on the way down. So I'll put both shots up, check it out, let me know what you think. Hi, so we've just turned up at Kata Tjuta. The time right now is 5:56, so the sun goes down at 6 o'clock. We're actually in the sunset viewing area here, so according to the laws of the indigenous people here, when you take shots of Kata Tjuta, you have to include all 3 domes in your shot. So that's where we've composed this. As I've got all 3 domes, I've got a little bit of headroom, what I call headroom, on either side of the shot, and we're actually quite lucky right now because we've got some really interesting clouds in the sky. I've done a couple of shots with a 10-stop ND filter. I've manually focused in on the rock itself, so I know the rock is dead sharp, but I'm shooting at f9, so everything's going to be sharp, sort of front to back in the frame. So let's have a quick look at that shot, and then we'll come back and look at some others. Check it out. So we're going to be back at Kata Tjuta, not tomorrow but the next day, because there's 2 walks that you can do here. There's one called Walpa Gorge, which is the gorge on the right hand side here, and when you take shots of that gorge, the indigenous people like you to have the walls of each side of the gorge in the shot. So we'll observe that, and we'll try and get some shots inside the gorge. The other walk that we're going to do is Valley of the Winds, and Valley of the Winds is across on the left hand side of the frame as you're looking at it. You're not allowed to take any shots in the Valley of the Winds, so we'll just go and do that as a bit of a hike and some interest to look at the local area here. And then this evening, once the sun goes down, in about 2 hours, the galaxy is going to rise pretty much over the centre of Kata Tjuta. So we're looking to capture the galaxy probably just slightly at an angle, but it's going to rise in the east and be perfectly aligned with it. So I'm going to try and capture that as well. So I might put that shot up as well if it came out. also spending the whole day at Uluru. We're going to do some galaxy shots in the morning, we're going to do a sunrise shot tomorrow morning, and then we're going to have a walk around and see if we can get some other shots around Uluru too. So we did get up 3 o'clock in the morning again, managed to get out to this platform, this viewing area by about 4. It was -4 degrees out in the desert, so we were wrapped up like crazy. Wasn't able to shoot any footage because everyone was taking shots and we didn't want any lights on the scene. So we did manage to get the Milky Way in the arc directly above Uluru, just down on the right there. So ended up pretty happy with this one. And then right after we'd finished shooting the galaxy, we raced around to the west side of Uluru. Again, I wasn't able to shoot any footage because the clock was ticking, we had to hurry. So these clouds came in, they were moving fast. This was probably about 45 minutes before sunrise. You can see this little light on the bush on the right. That was actually caused by a car headlight, and I actually quite liked the effect, so left it in. But you can see we just got some really vibrant colour in the sky right above the rock. It just kept delivering. Those clouds just lit up in the sky above Uluru. This was another shot from exactly the same spot. We were probably about 20 minutes from sunrise here, and frantically shooting like crazy before the sun came up. We took a risk. We actually left that position we were standing in, jumped in the cars and raced around, following the speed limit of course, but raced around to the sunset viewing area, which is where we are now, just as the sun was coming up over the horizon. This was the most spectacular sunrise we could ever have hoped for at this location. And there was a host of photographers all shooting away like crazy on this one. Once again, I didn't get any footage, but it was probably one of the shots of the trip. Well, that's it. That brings the video to a close. Back home now, of course, and memories of such an incredible trip home to a Sydney and a New South Wales. It's in complete lockdown due to an outbreak at the moment, and hopefully before too long we'll be out and about doing our thing again. So, as I said, memories of an incredible trip. If you haven't been to Uluru, Kata Tjuta or Kings Canyon, I thoroughly recommend all three. Kings Canyon was incredible. That rim walk was just absolutely spectacular. Kata Tjuta just had this very special feel about the whole area. It was just a spectacular area. And then Uluru was just above and beyond all expectations. You just got the feeling that Uluru could tell a few stories. It's been around for a long, long time. It was amazing to get those two icons, the Galaxy and Uluru, in the same shot. That was the purpose of the whole trip, was to try and organise, and it all came off. In fact, for a photographer, the conditions could not have been better. We got incredible sunsets, sunrises and galaxy shots. So an incredible trip. So I can see that we'll be back again before too long. If you didn't see part one, you can click up here and have a look at part one video, or I'll put a link in the description below. Make sure you go and see part one as well, because as I said, the shots, the conditions that we got for shots were just incredible. So that's it. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. If you enjoyed the shots just down here, subscribe to the channel, do all that stuff, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.